To say that Oceania Cruises elevates Alaska would actually be an understatement. I've been to this great land dozens of times, but the upscale line's refurbished Riviera delivered it in an all-new way. From taking a VIP ride on the White Pass and Yukon Route Railway, to getting our daily dose of crab, there's lots to share. You're watching Jason and Heidi's Popular Cruising. I'm your host Jason, and this is Alaska in all her glory. Even before boarding our ship, Oceania treated us to quite a pre-cruise experience in Anchorage, including the scenic dome cars of the contemporary Alaska Railroad. And my friend Alex and I relish the early opportunity.
And Heidi here to say, I'm so glad you two had this chance, even though I wasn't along this time. I know you were especially impressed by the cabin refurbishments.
That's right, because when I first sailed on Riviera years ago, concierge-level veranda staterooms looked like this. And now they've been given a substantial glow-up to appear much brighter and function even better, particularly in this category's bathroom, where a once super small corner shower was removed entirely, and the previous bathtub was replaced with an expanded walk-in shower. We'll return in just a moment after passing through the rest of the room and balcony itself. We're in Whittier. We were docked next to corporate cousin Regent Seven Seas Cruises, also great Seven Seas Explorer. Riviera's veranda staterooms were originally dark and drab by comparison, but now they are more vibrant with neutral hues and renewed furnishings and fixtures that are all undoubtedly teddy bear approved. Closets and nightstands once sported this rich aesthetic, but now the design is far cheerier, including always helpful bedside USB charging outlets. But it's back in the bathroom, where the previous configuration has really made way for improvements, since gone are the aforementioned tiny corner shower and bathtub, which was a cramped and redundant pairing to begin with, in favor of a new set of corner cabinetry and much larger shower in place of the former tub, which is now altogether far more luxurious.
And you've been to Hubbard Glacier nearly as many times as Alaska at large, but never before seeing it from a shuttle boat off the ship, which got my husband here much closer to the face of this glorious monstrosity than ever before in his travels. Wow, you really did get super close!
I mean, admittedly my zoom lens is carrying a lot of the weight here, but yeah, we sure did. Especially since our ship and the majority of its passengers hung back quite a bit farther away.
So did we get a little drunk before capturing this shaky calving footage?
Yeah, unfortunately not my best work to rush to the shot, and indeed they were passing out a glacial ice cocktail. But in this instance it really was only Alex enjoying the libation. That is before it was time to head to the ship's unique onboard culinary center to try my hand at cooking some Northwest Passage delights, as expertly presented and taught by one of the line's in-house chefs, preparing and poaching none other than regional salmon, to then go back to our stations and mix and form a roulette with two kinds of the tasty local fish. I didn't think I did half bad, and the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, and it sure was delicious, even though our instructors did in fact plate more masterfully. In either case, I enjoyed tasting mine, and then even more so the line's signature cuisine from chef Jacques Pepin and the team, which blew us out of the water, so to speak, with an expansive chef's market dinner, showcasing the flavors of Alaska even further. Oceania's food is legendary at its other full-service main dining room and specialty venues, but this distinct buffet service was the Alaskan highlight specifically. From scrumptious crab cakes to a full-fledged salmon gravlax station and everything in between. And as marvelous as these salads were, we definitely were most happy to make it to the desserts, where a Mount McKinley ice cream-filled donut headlined the spread, complete with a flaming brulee finish as given a final personal touch by the ace pastry chef. And boy was it good! Another Alaskan tour I've done multiple times in Skagway is the classic White Pass and Yukon Route Railway, but again never have my parents seen here or I ridden in this cool VIP parlor car, with its own fancy selection of free snacks and complimentary Alaskan Brewing Company beers, and other available drinks to wash it all down with. Pulled behind the rest of the train up front, I was most content to claim a spot at the expanded outdoor platform at the very back. The exclusive experience is only available to 14 riders at a time, so there's plenty of opportunities to hang out back here and watch the dramatic scenery beautifully unfold. From large accumulated snowbanks to impressive trellis bridge overpasses, and even catching a glimpse of other trains making the journey from across the ravine. Barely hanging onto the cliff face, as it were, before we experienced the same section of track for ourselves. Entering one of numerous fascinating tunnels and passing by an abandoned collapsing bridge. All before making it to the end of the path, where our train made a U-turn to traverse the rails back to our ship. And see it all a second time from a neat downhill perspective of said tunnels and bridges. This really was a treat, and yet another excellent Oceania experience we won't soon forget. As we finished back into town, closely waving hello to another passing train.
Up very close and personal. That really does seem to be the theme of this cruise for you guys.
It sure does. Even getting a glimpse of the awesome steam locomotive out of the shops as we rolled back in. But believe it or not, we still have only scratched the surface of our overall Alaskan cruise. Because in Sitka, we went on a wildlife quest and visited Finn Island with ZZ Top here.
Yeah, honey, please don't grow your beard out quite that long.
I don't know, no promises.
Well, in either case, you really did do some great humpback whale spotting here.
Although we didn't catch a coveted breach, seeing these magnificent creatures in slow motion, no less, really does convey their majesty. It really never gets old seeing whales and eagles out in the wild, even when in the pouring rain to take this video for our audience. Speaking of which, our otter friends invite you to please subscribe to our channel while hitting that bell icon to be notified of all our latest video postings. And if you do, you'll get a grateful wave from them and us in return.
Oh, and then you went to that really cool lodge on Finn Island with all the crab, right?
That is indeed right. And it was the perfect way to get out of the rain for a bit to hop inside for a veritable feast. Which turned out to be just one of many Oceania opportunities to enjoy the succulent and sweet meat. Not to mention more salmon and even prime rib here, in addition to kimchi-style Brussels sprouts, salad, and a hearty chowder.
In other words, you were very well fed. Can you bring me back like a doggy bag next time, maybe?
Sure, but it might have been a little difficult to return home with these s'mores, especially that burnt to a crisp Anakin Skywalker looking one.
Too soon, honey, too soon.
Well, I did have the high ground at least, as we arrived at Ketchikan to check out George Inlet, and, yes, enjoy yet another crab feast. But only after exploring this abandoned salmon cannery from a distance. I sure do love mysterious abandoned places, as well as getting up close yet again to an incredible bald eagle.
So when you're ready to book your own Oceania Alaska cruise, we recommend doing so through our sponsor, Fairy Godmother Travel, who will magically take care of all your trip planning absolutely for free. To get your complimentary quote, just click the link right here.
Before eating any more crab, we also had the chance to see the catching process firsthand, interacting with several live specimens right from our tour boat. And once more, my friend Alex got in on the action to hold one himself, while some of the others seemed to be sparring back in the cage. Then it was time to slow down a bit again and enjoy the promised feast. Back at the serene George Inlet Lodge, where even more Dungeness crab awaited our arrival, in the warm and dry interior, among our group of new friends. While the crab statue in the rain outside stood sentry and predicted what we were about to enjoy. And feast one last time we certainly did.
That is before you enjoyed one final day on board navigating the peaceful inside passage, which really poetically speaks for itself. So just enjoy this last relaxing minute of our video and one final wildlife spotting of dolphins without commentary. Thanks so much for watching. If you would, as it really does help support us, please like this video with a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and why not watch some of our other ones while you're here.